Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Empowered Living Network. My name is Stacy Wallace, and it is my absolute joy tonight to be introducing you to tonight's Empowering You webinar. Before we begin this evening, I want to say what a privilege it has been to be a part of the Social Commerce University that is traveling all over the United States, going city to city, sharing Solavei with our members and taking the conversation to another level, enrolling, educating, and empowering our members how to create massive networks within Solavei. We understand that Solavei is offering an incredible value proposition of $49 unlimited voice, text, and data. And there are those who are just simply looking to get free mobile service, or maybe they're looking to become a thousandaire. Beyond that conversation, however, is a massive compensation plan and opportunity for nonprofit organizations, individuals, and businesses to tap into the give back opportunity that Solavei is offering. And tonight, we're actually going to talk about that give back plan and how Solavei is engaging with nonprofits and helping to support them through sustainable income through our rewards program. Tonight, again, this is our Empowering You training webinar. So with me tonight is Laura Wells, social networker, and Aaron Wolf, social thousandaire. Together, we are going to share a step-by-step guide to sharing Solavei with nonprofit organizations. Now, many of you know that Solavei actually reaches over 60% men engaging in Solavei. Tonight, this is a little sheet-pack of women who are especially passionate about engaging with nonprofit organizations and who are having great success doing so. We're going to run through a number of slides this evening that will hopefully help you better and more effectively not only connect with nonprofit organizations, but with people in general. Now, before we get started with talking about nonprofit organizations, there are some things. Today I was talking with Erin Wolf, and she was sharing some very, very important strategies on why it's so important to share Solavei with excellence. You know, when we're talking about nonprofit organizations, clearly nonprofit organizations are very passionate about what they do. Having been raised in a nonprofit family of ministers and missionaries and philanthropists, having been raised and cut my teeth on nonprofit when I was just a baby, father having a nonprofit organization for over 45 years, there are certain areas of nonprofit passion that you want to make sure that you are aware of. And this first slide I felt was not only good for nonprofits, but really good for everyone. Number one, and Aaron, you and I talked about this today, is be professional. We talked about that. Aaron, explain to me to the people today what you were talking about to me about be professional. And I'll let you run through these bullet points here about sharing Solavei with excellence.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks so much, Stacy. Nonprofits are close to my heart, and so when I originally set an appointment with a very large nonprofit that helps orphans and forever families find each other, I just really felt it a privilege to be able to share, what could be a game changer with them with Solavei in terms of income. And knowing that nonprofits get pitched for how to earn additional income and that we only have one opportunity to make a great first impression, I really wanted to make sure that it was done well, and as you have there, to just be as professional as possible. Also wanted to, as you put, study the nonprofit in mind. We wanted to be sure that we came in and we showed them how Solavei could benefit their organization. We went in knowing what they did. It wasn't just a one Solavei plan fits all. It was, let's figure out how Solavei and this particular organization could work hand in hand together. The third thing, as you have there, seek to understand, not to be understood. So many times we just want to pour it all out because we know so much and we know how it can help them, but we really need to listen and to sit back and hear their needs and what could most benefit them. The fourth one, branding yourself Solavei. Absolutely, 100%. We want to make sure we're professional, going back to that, and branding ourselves properly and well, and that as we do that, that they hear that and they see that, and it goes all the way through. Having a clear go-to-market strategy, want to make sure, okay, these are the steps, A, B, C. They may need to listen to what we have to say to them, then they have to go to their board, then they have to wait maybe a month. You have to be patient, and make sure you have a go-to-market strategy that's easy for them to follow. And finally, using the professional tools provided by Solavei. We've got Share Solavei, which I know Laura and Stacey are going to go into a little bit. Business cards are excellent. The Solavei branded gear, all of these we have available for our nonprofits to help them be successful with Solavei.
Excellent. And you know, Aaron, you've done such a great job of that. I know in the nonprofit video that we actually share there on empoweredliving.biz/webinars. That is a nonprofit that you brought to the table. You wanted to share Solavei with them, but you wanted me to share the vision presentation. Well, what we did it by Google Hangout. This was a global nonprofit organization. We went ahead and videotaped that Google Hangout so that anyone could watch it, share it, use it. We removed the brand of that nonprofit. We removed the brand of any specific organization or member so that anyone could use that particular Hangout video to share with other nonprofits. Now, what's exciting about it is that nonprofit obviously was a massive global nonprofit organization, and you said it yourself just a minute ago, go-to-market strategy. The bigger the nonprofit, the more you're probably going to have to be patient because there's a lot more red tape, bureaucracy that you have to go through. Certainly, the bigger the organization. If you're talking with a smaller organization, then you may be able to get right to the chase, sign up the executive director, and get going. So it's important to be excellent and be patient when you're sharing with nonprofit organizations. And as Aaron said, you know, so many nonprofits have been quote unquote pitched. We don't pitch nonprofit organizations. Solavei was created to give back. We're not looking for nonprofits. We believe Solavei was created to support nonprofits, to support members, to support individuals that have a passion to make a difference in the lives of others. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to jump into sharing Solavei with nonprofit organizations. And first off, what not to say. There are some things that, and Aaron alluded to it, that you just don't want to say. There's terms, there's phrases that you don't want to use. Let's first off look at what not to say. Avoid terms like the word compensation, avoid terms like income or downline or MLM, direct sales. These are terms that most nonprofit organizations actually have clauses that say, we don't do that. We don't do direct sales. We don't sell to our supporters. We don't participate in programs that help our supporters make money. So you want to make sure that you avoid terms that are automatically going to create an image in their mind that makes them think this is one of those deals. So make sure that the terminology you are using creates the right picture. You know, I love how John Locker said, you know, if I say I would love to have an apple, I love apples. Now, all of you, some of you are thinking red apple, some of you are thinking green Granny Smith apples. The point is everyone's filter is different, that when I use a word like apple, you will go to what's familiar to you. We want to make sure that we're very clear with our definitions and our overview when we're sharing with nonprofits so they don't automatically flip to a familiar picture, and oftentimes a picture of where they have been wounded or scarred, or maybe they've experienced something that wasn't in the best of nature. So make sure that you're using the right terms. Avoid phrases like people under you, you know, sponsored by you. You can get paid on different levels. Again, that's going to create the wrong image, and it's going to make them think that Solavei is a multi-level marketing company, which it's not. Remember, it's important when you're sharing Solavei to understand first what is Solavei and what is Solavei not. The closest thing we have to levels would be our two-tier affiliate system called Trio Pay, where we pay $20 a month. And really, that's the part that nonprofits are going to be most interested in, is knowing that for every 3 people that switch, they're going to get $20 a month given back to their nonprofit. What they don't want to hear about is levels upon levels upon levels, which we don't have, or even our path pay is just paid out on numbers, very much like Facebook grows out in overall numbers and growth. Solavei does the same thing. So no one cares what level you are on in Facebook. It's just that you're a friend. The fact that you're the 500th friend doesn't mean that you're 5 levels away. So again, you want to make sure that you are avoiding terms that create the wrong pictures. Now, what do you say? What are the terms that will create familiar pictures that they actually support. Terms like sustainability, monthly support, vision, purpose, and the word cause. For example, when you're sharing with a member, you might share with a member some of those avoid terms. When you're sharing with a nonprofit, you're going to say, one of the things that's exciting is that Solavei is providing sustainability to nonprofits like yours. Simply by mentioning Solavei, sharing Solavei with your current supporters, you're going to find that Solavei is going to give back $20 for every 3 people that switch to Solavei through your nonprofit. Solavei is going to give $20 of sustainable monthly income back into your nonprofit. And what's exciting about that is going to directly support the vision and purpose that you guys are so passionate about. See how we turn the words a little bit to make sure that we're creating the right picture and terminology that nonprofits can really see themselves. Again, you're doing this because Solavei can be such a game changer. Think about just a little league program. Imagine a little league program with 54 people that switch through that little league program. That would be an extra $1,360 a month if they directly switch through that little league program. That's almost $15,000 a year just because they decided to partner with Solavei and switch to Solavei and encourage their supporters to do the same. You want to make sure that you're providing those type of analogies. And as we go through the step-by-step guide in how to share Solavei with nonprofits, you're going to see some of the tools that we've created for you actually help you with that terminology and nomenclature. Now, we encourage you to share the Solavei nonprofit presentation. That's actually going to be step 1 in the step-by-step plan. The reason for that is number one, we want you to watch it because you're going to be able to hear the full presentation that I was able to do with that global nonprofit that Aaron brought to the table. You're going to be able to hear the terminology, hear what to say. You can listen to it over and over and over again. You can use it yourself. And when you feel like you've got it, we also provide the exact same PowerPoint deck that you can use to share with nonprofits as well. So we want to make sure you follow the following step-by-step guide. And I'm going to ask Laura Wells to pop in here with me. Her and I have been discussing this today. Today specifically, she's been working with a nonprofit, setting up the landing pages and getting the go-to-market strategy prepared for that nonprofit. So we're going to take you through that process as well. So let's look at step 1 to our step-by-step how-to guide for sharing Solavei with nonprofit organizations. Step 1, watch the Solavei nonprofit presentation that I did for that global nonprofit. This is going to help you get the right languaging to use for those nonprofits. Now, Laura, you have used this. Obviously, you've watched it, and now you have taken it to the step of you're no longer using that nonprofit presentation that we recorded. You're now doing it yourself. How has this nonprofit presentation helped prepare you?
Yeah, and this is what's really neat is that, the PowerPoint deck is available for us, but the presentation that you did that's already up, I would encourage everybody to watch that over and over and over and over again until you are comfortable with the wording, the languaging, the posture, just the mentality. I think there's a whole feel to that presentation that you did that if you watch it enough and kind of study it, you'll kind of take some of that on yourself. And so when you feel comfortable taking the PowerPoint deck and doing your own version of your presentation so that it's got your personality behind it, then you can do that. But until then, you can use the one that is already up that you did and use that as your own. And I think that's a great idea. So people don't have to wait until they feel ready. They can use the one that's already up for now until they feel ready to do the one on their own.
Yeah, and people are always asking, how have you scaled such big numbers? You want to make sure that you're always creating, or I am always wanting to make sure that we're creating tools that anybody can use. Clearly, we don't have time to sit and train people how to say it, use the right tone, use the right words. But what we can do is show one in presentation that you can study. If somebody comes to me, and I've done a lot of nonprofit presentations for a lot of organizations and a lot of different groups, but everyone that says, Stacy, I've got a nonprofit leader I'd like you to talk to. I always say to them, okay, step number one is, have they watched the Solavei nonprofit presentation that we have available on empoweredliving.biz/webinars. Now I'll let you guys know that up until now there was a tag on the end of that. Tonight we're uploading a fresh one that won't have any reference. Before it had a reference. I think it said, "Thank you, Stacy Wallace, Social Executive." I'm removing that off so it won't give any playback to me personally, so that you guys, it could just be clean and fresh. So that nonprofit presentation, you can actually use it to share with your nonprofit if in fact you don't want to do that presentation yourself. So step one, make sure you watch the Solavei nonprofit presentation and get yourself prepared to share. Now, step two, we want you to watch this video tonight. Again, the step-by-step guide to sharing Solavei with nonprofits. This guide is going to encourage folks to watch this video so they can see that there is actually a process of strategy that you want to use when going to a nonprofit organization. And we will have this video posted on that link. Now, step number three, set up your own sharesolavei.com account. Why is that so important? Well, first off, you want to be able to have an example to show them that will be able to show them how they can go to market. When I'm talking with a nonprofit, ultimately what they say is, okay, this is great, I love it, but we don't have the resources, we don't have the manpower to oversee something like this. Is this going to require a lot of time? What you want to be able to say to them is, number one, I'm going to partner with you and I'm going to help manage your account with Solavei until such a time you may say, well, we'd like to have train somebody in-house. And if that's the case, be happy to come in and train that person. But until then, you might want to say, hey, I will take personal responsibility for helping manage your nonprofit account when people are joining. The second thing is we have a very clear go-to-market strategy that we use for nonprofits, and that is to help you create a landing page that you can do a number of things with it. Number one, you could put a link on your current nonprofit website that says, turn your cell phone into a support tool that helps us help others, or a self-service with a purpose, whatever you want that banner to be, and we can help create that. Or maybe you have events that you are actually at. I know we've got a couple of recording artists and nonprofit organizations that do concerts and events, and in the middle of the concert, they might actually say, hey, if you want to help support our nonprofit, you can do it with your phone by doing exactly what you already do, only we're going to help you save on your monthly service, and that's also going to help you help us. So to do that, just go to, and then they'll give them their Share Solavei site, which is a landing page that will allow them to capture that information. Now, moving beyond that, once you set up your own sharesolavei.com account, you're going to go to sharesolavei.com and you're going to get the pro account. Why the pro account? Laura, can you tell us why the pro account is so important?
Yeah, it's actually vital. I think if you're wanting to present this in a way that's the most effective way, you have to be able to have the two things that the pro account offers: the ability to do custom landing pages so that you can make your own banners and even the own videos and all of that, so it can really have the heart of that nonprofit behind it. But the autoresponder, the email campaigns, that is really very important, and those are both available with the pro account.
Excellent. One thing that we're going to do now, real quick, I'm going to pull up here an opportunity for you guys to see what we're talking about when we say Share Solavei. You're going to be able to go to this page right here, sharesolavei.com, and you'll be able to see how simple it is. The basic site is a free site. Solavei wanted to make it available for everyone to have a free site. However, what we're going to show you tonight is important that you go ahead and get the pro site. It's $19.95 a month. You get a 14-day free trial, which is great. You can get in there. You can set up all the things we're talking about, see if it works for you. But the reason why the pro site, you get a lot of options here. Another thing you also get is the ability to set up your own do-it-yourself landing pages, nonprofit pages, and set up email campaigns that speak to those folks that go to those landing pages day after day after day. So we're going to show you that in just a minute. What I'd like to do right now is just pop into one of the nonprofit pages that we have set up. Now you'll see this one is just a sample site. You guys are welcome to go in and look around this site, mercy.sharesolavei.com. That is not linked to Solavei, so that is not going to benefit anybody. It's a mock site that we've set up. Specifically, we're targeting, hypothetically, we're targeting soldiers and their families and people that like to support the military. And you can see we've created a banner that really touches that spot, touches that that heart touch of the military families. Why just make a call when you can make a difference? You can see we've given a little overview of what Works of Mercy is partnering with Solavei, how it works, that the individual looking at this landing page will save money, and $20 per month for every 3 people will be given back to their 501c3 organization. You can see the nonprofit video is in here, and you can see that it then captures information. So let's say, for example, we had a banner posted on the nonprofit organization, and somebody, a supporter, comes to that nonprofit organization, clicks on the banner, and they go directly to this page, which is going to share with them how they can now take that same cell bill that they're paying, probably overspending to AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, and switch to Solavei, and by doing that, going to be able to be making a difference. What we're looking to do is capture their name, email, phone number, and state. You can customize this. You'll see that on in the step-by-step that we're getting ready to show you. But most importantly is once they put in their information and click submit info, you will see that it is automatically going to send them into what we call a pro site. This site has been created specifically for nonprofits. You'll see that it uses nonprofit nomenclature or terminology. You'll see that we go in here, and in each setting, when it talks about mobile service, when it talks about Solavei, it's going to use not only the videos that speak to it, but it's also going to talk about how the organizations are going to benefit. So you want to make sure that you set up a Share Solavei site, because it is going to be targeting directly to those nonprofits. Now, when somebody goes in here and puts in their information, another thing's going to happen is they're automatically going to be put into an email campaign. That email campaign is going to give anywhere from 1 to, well, as many emails as you want them to receive. Now, we've set up 3 example nonprofit email autoresponders. So on day 1, they would get one. Day 2, they would get one. Day 3, they would get one. And we'll show you how that's working. And we'll actually also share with you those sample emails. It's all going to be a part of this step-by-step system and PDF download. So you can, again, write as many as you want. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. So let's just go back here for just a minute. We're going to go back to our screen. Hopefully you guys can see. Erin, can you, or Laura, can you see the step-by-step, step 3?
Yes, I can see step 3.
Okay, excellent. So let's move on along then to step 4. Now, this is what we just talked about. Create a do-it-yourself nonprofit lead capture page so you can demonstrate, just like I did, a go-to-market strategy for that nonprofit organization that you're talking to. Why is that important? You must show them, again, create the picture that they see that you are already prepared to share with them and for them the simple strategy of Solavei. Now, we have actually recorded a very simple video that you can watch where I take you step by step through how to set up an NPO lead capture page. Again, this is all going to be on the PDF download that we're going to be sharing with you at the end of this webinar. So step number 4, create a do-it-yourself nonprofit lead capture page so you can demonstrate a go-to-market strategy for NPOs. Now, Laura, what I'd like to do again is I would like to bounce out of here, and let's take a look at the one you've been creating today. You have been working with a nonprofit organization, the Aiden Ray Foundation, and tell us a little bit about your process in setting this up, and maybe a couple of things that as you went through this and set it up, a couple of things that you had to look out for.
Yeah, so as we were going through, we actually used the tutorials, both in Share Solavei and then also the trainings that you've done previously. But, you know, we were talking about this today. Tutorials are great, but the only way you're really going to really learn how to use a system like this is to go in and push buttons and figure stuff out. So we were in here, and I was on the phone with the founder of this nonprofit, Hayden Ray Foundation, Vanessa Pack, and she and I were working together and pushing buttons, making mistakes, goofing stuff up. But one of the first things we realized is that, for the nonprofit, it was really important for us to take a look at their actual website, because we wanted to make sure that this particular page had that same design, that same feel. So while we know that Solavei's colors are purple, the Aiden Ray Foundation, their color is this lime green color. So we really wanted to make sure that we pulled that in, and we realized that the landing page that's back there in the Share Solavei site, even on the DIY, when you go in there to build that page, the default banner is the military banner, but you can make your own JPEG image, your banner there, and upload that one so that it can reflect truly the feel of their foundation or that nonprofit organization, maybe at their logo or whatever wording is important to them. So that, because like Aaron said, your first impression, and so we really wanted their supporters to see this page and know they're on the right page. This is the Aiden Ray Foundation, page that's going to support them, and they didn't wind up on some random site. So that's the first thing we noticed right away, is to make our own banner and to upload that. The second thing I noticed when we were playing around in here is up at the top where it says My Story. It says shared by Aiden Ray Foundation, and then it says My Story. That is a link, and that is actually something that the nonprofit needs to go in to their basic setup, or you, if you're helping the nonprofit, go into their basic setup section and make sure that when they click that My Story link, that it tells the person viewing this site a little bit about the nonprofit, what they do, who they are, why they partnered with Solavei, and how that supporter can help. This, again, like Aaron said, this is the part that's so important, because if somebody stumbles upon here, they really are going to understand more about what that nonprofit is all about, and there's a call to action, how they can help. So those are two really important things that we noticed when we were in here messing around with stuff.
Yeah, and again, I encourage you guys to go in and, like she said, play around, because even though, I could do the tutorials over and over and over again, really it was Laura going in with this particular nonprofit and building it, customizing it for them. You got to know how great they feel when they see their brand, their pictures, and you can even create a simulation of a landing page for a nonprofit. Whenever I present to a nonprofit, I like to have a page like this already created, even though they may change it and fix it up and put in their professional graphics, just to show them a go-to-market strategy. Now, of course, you guys are more than welcome to use these as examples. Again, mercy.sharesolavei.com does not support any specific network, so you can use that as an example. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if you used Aiden Ray, but just make sure that you have that strategy put together so that they can see this isn't going to require their manpower, but there's actually a landing page, autoresponders, an automatic follow-up system already set in place. Okay, that leads us to step number 5. Embed the nonprofit mobile service video on your NPO page. Laura, take that one away.
Yeah, this one is actually one of the ones, even though I consider myself fairly tech savvy, this is actually something that gave me a little bit of a stumble, so I'm happy to kind of help others avoid that. So one of the things that you can do, and you can do this 2 different ways. The mobile service video, this is the one that it doesn't talk about anything other than just simply the mobile service offered by Solavei. It is a very short video, which is wonderful. It's hosted on YouTube right now, and that link right there is going to be in empoweredliving.biz. You can actually click there. Now, when you're setting it up on the Share Solavei page itself, when you're building the page, so you're in the back side of this nonprofit's landing page, in the Build Your Page section, in the Content section where you're typing, that the information that you're putting there, you're going to have to do a couple of steps to make sure this video gets embedded. The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to actually need to go to the actual YouTube for this video, click underneath the video itself in the About section, and it's going to say the word share, and then it's going to say the word embed. And there is going to be a really gobbledy looking URL. It's going to be a long HTML code that you need to copy that entire code, save it to a clipboard or something like that. Stacey's about to show you what I'm talking about, because it really is very important that you guys know how to capture that embed code from these YouTube videos so it looks really nice and professional. But you're going to actually copy the embed code from the video, and you're going to take that, and I would recommend pasting it into a clipboard so that you don't lose it accidentally. I've made that mistake a couple times. But once you have that embed code, then take it into your Share Solavei site. So Stacey's going to show you, right. So see how underneath the video itself, there's a tab that says About and then Share. You click Share first, and then you click the embed link, okay? And then you're going to copy that entire thing. Make sure you copy from arrow to arrow, and then copy it, and then you're going to go back to your Share Solavei page that you're building there, and then you're going to, I'm going to actually show you where to go, because you don't just paste this code into the front side where you're creating your page here. You're actually going to paste that code into the source where all of that yucky looking code is. You're going to actually paste it back there and then save it. And then when you actually visit your site, it's going to magically appear all beautiful and embedded. So this is actually something that gave me a little bit of a hiccup when we were doing this. But now that I know it, I've learned it. I only had to learn it once, and now I can do 100 of these. So it's easy.
Going through all of this in step-by-step fashion. Yeah, this is a part of the how to set up nonprofit landing pages, the video, and that's why this step-by-step guide is real important, that at the end of this, we're going to give you the PDF download. You're not even going to have to go find those links. You're going to click on it in the step-by-step, and it's automatically going to take you there. So it's going to help you out a lot. So you can see here, if you wanted to create a video link name, let's say mobile non-profit, and all of this again is going to do it for you. The YouTube link, you would put it in there, and again, that would be whatever, let's say, let's go here, and let's say it was this YouTube share. Again, you'd go back to, let's see, I've got so many things opened up now. There we are. You'd post that in there. You're going to create a video link, and that's going to be included in. The other way that Laura's talking about is the embed code to go directly into the landing page. Both of these, this is explained to you in that video. And of course, if you've got additional questions, we're happy to help as well. Okay, let's bounce back over into, so you want to embed the nonprofit mobile service on your landing page. Now, if you will remember, we also showed you a Share Solavei, where did I put that? Here it is. This particular, we call it the Pro Marketing System for Nonprofits. It already has the nonprofit video in it, so you don't have to worry about posting that in there. This whole system is completely set up. What Laura is talking about is setting up a landing page, and I will show you that actually, when you scroll down here, has the nonprofit video right there. You don't have to include it. In fact, if you don't want to, it's okay, because when they put the information in and it takes them through that, it takes them right to that nonprofit video right there in the Pro system. So if you want to put it on the nonprofit,
yeah, you know what, Stacey, what I was thinking about is, and this is something, we just put this up today, and when we realized, again, setting it up, and then once it's set up, click through and actually go through the whole site so you know what their supporters are actually going to see on the other side. We actually didn't realize that this video that we embedded in the front page was actually the first thing that someone was going to see after they click through. So after we discovered that, we talked about maybe it would be neat to put a video of maybe a promotional video that explains what their foundation is all about. Maybe a personal video from the founder of the foundation just thanking them for visiting their site and learning about how to support them. It would be neat to kind of warm up that page with a personal video, since that mobile service video is going to be right behind the curtain as soon as they fill out the form.
Yeah, that's a great idea. If there is a leader within that nonprofit that would like to express the vision and why they're partnering with Solavei, that will create an even more human and personal touch. And you can easily do that as well. Okay, let's jump to step 6. You want to set up a nonprofit email campaign, which is the autoresponders. And we are going to give you samples again in the download that's going to come with this video. On the PDF, we're actually going to include 3 sample autoresponders. I was working on those today and just realize how important it is. You can go in there and use those first 3 as examples, but I can't stress enough how important it is for that nonprofit you're working with to personalize it. If they're working with children, instead of saying our organization, I would say thank you for supporting the children that we are so passionate about reaching. You really personalize it to that nonprofit. If it's a nonprofit to share, shoes with children in Africa, speak to that in your autoresponders. Because remember, when someone fills out their information on a landing page, they're saying, hey, I want more information about how I can support your organization. When those autoresponder emails come to them over the next 10, 20, 30, 60, 90 days, however many you set up, you want them to be constantly reminding them of 2 things. Number 1, the vision of our organization, and number 2, how you can help support that vision by switching to Solavei. So set up the nonprofit emails. Let me go in here real quick. Let's see if I have it set up. I think at some point, let me go into the Share Solavei system here. Where did I have that? There it is. I'm going to show you what that looks like in the email system. Here's my campaign messages. And we've set up 3 samples so that if you guys go to mercy.sharesolavei.com and just go ahead and put in your name and information, and you can put test on there. I'm not going to respond to any of those because that's just a test site. But you'll be able to see that we've set up a nonprofit campaign. Here's how you set up a campaign yourself. You can call it Wiki, whatever you want to call it. You'll just push save, and then every time you create a new email message, you'll see you'll want to save it to that campaign. And you'll go in here, create new email message, and right up at the top, you're going to be able to create, okay, which one do I want to save it to? I want to save it to Wiki, and then you create that message. Now, I'm going to show you the ones that we've already set up, and clearly I will erase Wiki. But the nonprofit campaign is what we're going to look at, because that's the 3 that we set up today as samples for you to look at. So let's go in and look at the first email that if they were to go to the mercy.sharesolavei.com and put in their information, they are going to receive this. Let's go. I put the first one to go on day 0 so that they get it instantly when they put in their information. And you can see here that we've created one, switch, save, and give. And again, we're using the right nomenclature, the right words to speak to nonprofits. We're talking about a Give Big site, outreaches of our organization to help drive sustainability. We keep the value proposition very simple, that the supporters win by saving money, and the nonprofit wins by getting $20 a month for every 3. And you can see all of this is auto-filled as well. So you can go in there, and again, if you put your information, mercy.sharesolavei.com, you'll get those autoresponders and get to see a sample of them. Now, you can click on those autoresponders inside that email. Just do a copy of that email that you will get through those autoresponders, and you can actually go and just load it as is into your campaign like I just shared with you, and then you can go in and customize it. Remember that you would go right into up here, email system, click on campaign messages. You'd go right in here, create an autoresponder campaign, which we did, then create a new message, and then you would paste it in that message, and that would then save it, and that would create one message inside of your nonprofit campaign. Again, all of this being shared on the how to create landing pages within your Share Solavei system. So let's go back here and let's take a look at Laura or Aaron. Do y'all have anything to add on that with the nonprofit email campaigns?
Actually, I do. I'm chatting with Marcy right now, and she mentioned, and this actually goes right along with the autoresponders and the email campaigns. There's been some questions from the field, just from Solavei members, asking how can they add someone to the Share Solavei site? Is there any way to manually add someone to where they automatically receive this email campaign? Or does the person have to opt in to receive that themselves?
Yeah, you cannot go in, even though in the back of the Share Solavei system, you will see where it says prospects and it says add a contact. You can add a contact for your own personal tracking purposes, but they will not get the autoresponders that way. The only way for someone to get the autoresponders is if they go in, because this is called an opt-in system, meaning they are opting in and they're talking to all the spam laws saying, I want you to send me emails. So that's why it's so important for them to go to that landing page, put in their name, email, and phone number, and once they click submit, um, they are automatically going to be receiving those emails because they have opted in to receive emails. Obviously, with the spam laws, Solavei did not want to be a part of any type of email pushes. Obviously, there's a lot of abuse that takes place with those. So this is an opt-in system, meaning that they're going to opt in to receive those. So the only way that that information would be able to happen is if the name, email of that person, and phone number goes in and submit info is started, and that will automatically start sending to them. And they can cancel at any time.
Excellent.
Oh,
Perfect.
okay, excellent. Now let's bounce in because we still have one more step before we close out this webinar, and that is to review the official Solavei nonprofit document, which shows you the steps to take in enrolling a nonprofit organization with Solavei. Again, in the PDF, we're going to have it just like this, where you're going to be able just to click on the link, and it is going to take you directly to the nonprofit page within support.solavei.com. Again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring all the questions we've been given over the course of the last month to 2 months, bring it all into one location so that you guys are able to just click through step by step. And then, of course, once you do this, you'll see at the bottom of the page, there is the form right there that you click on. That is what the nonprofit would have to fill out and submit to Solavei. So that is step number 7. And of course, step number 8 is that you review this, go back, watch it again, wash, rinse, repeat. We are covering this in the Social Commerce University. In fact, in the next 2 that we have coming up, we are going to go into more depth on nonprofits. I have gotten a lot of response of people just wanting more how-to training. The Social Commerce University has continued to allow us to go deep on topics like this to really help equip people. We give a meat training when we're at these. And of course, you can go to empoweredliving.biz/university to see the details of how that is going to be available in your area. And you can also see the areas that are going to be coming available. What I'm going to do now is, Laura, I'm just going to ask you if there's anything left that you have to share on the nonprofit topic. Of course, after this video, we are going to be posting this video tonight through the Empowered Living Network Facebook group. We will also have it on empoweredliving.biz/webinars. We will also have the PDF attached beneath that video so that you can access both the step-by-step PDF as well as this video. Laura?
Awesome. No, I just wanted to remind everybody, this particular nonprofit has actually been involved. The founder of the nonprofit has been involved in Solavei since launch, and they've just been waiting until Solavei had all of the things in place, like the form to fill out and the proper program in place to support nonprofits. And now that we do, this is very exciting. But I would encourage you guys to not be afraid. You can't break anything. In Share Solavei, go in there, set one up, set a couple of them up, play around, push buttons. Nothing's going to break. But I encourage you guys to do that because truly, once you've done your first one and it looks beautiful and you're proud of it, I feel after today, after setting this first one up, I know I can go out and do 100 of them. I feel completely empowered with the ability to do this for other nonprofits now that through me and my relationship with Solavei, I can bless and benefit a lot of nonprofit organizations simply by this knowledge that I just got from setting this up one time. So go in there and play around because through you, a lot of people can benefit from this.
And Erin, do you have anything that you would like to share with us before we sign out?
Oh, I just want to really echo what you have said and what Laura has said. What an incredible tool that we have in our hands to empower those nonprofits and help them. And I would just encourage you to not only watch this video and use that PDF to help train yourself, but be sure to pass this to all your team members because there are so many nonprofits who need our help, who need Solavei. And so we've given, I believe, over $12 million to our Solavei members. Let's now start giving those to our nonprofits, and it's an exciting tool to have. So just be sure to educate yourself and your team members, and let's get this out there to those nonprofits.
Excellent. Well, ladies, thank you so much again. Tonight has been a special presentation empowering you by Empowered Living Network, making sure that you have what you need, a step-by-step guide to sharing Solavei with nonprofits. I encourage you again, go to empoweredliving.biz/webinars. Check out the other nonprofit webinars that we have to show you how to set up Share Solavei. But more importantly, check out the PDF. That's the step-by-step guide to sharing Solavei with nonprofits, available empoweredliving.biz. Go through it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll also see some extra tools we've put at the bottom, including a link to Photo Bucket, which shows you how to put up images for your banners and things like that, as well as it gives you the link to the nonprofit PowerPoint presentation and those 3 sample autoresponders that we've already created. Again, stay tuned. Check out facebook.com/groups/Empowered Living Network. We'll be posting this very shortly this evening. You can also get it again, empoweredliving.biz/webinars. My name is Stacy Wallace. I'm honored to be a social executive with Solavei, and thank God for Laura and Erin and all of the incredible leaders across Solavei that are passionate about reaching nonprofit organizations and making a difference in the lives of many. Remember, now is the time. This is the place, and you are the ones to start the revolution. We are believing the best for you. Good night, everyone.